barkery. We have a brown dog here helping us this morning. Today we are going to be making old-fashioned fudge. I want to quickly review all of the tools that we're going to need today and then the ingredients. First thing, you need a 6-quart saucepan. This is a bench scraper. Definitely use the bench scraper. And I usually coat all of the tools with a nice coating of butter. This is a putty knife, but it works really well when we get in and start putting air into the fudge. I need a pastry brush to wipe off the crystals around the pot while it's cooking. Crystals are the enemy of making homemade fudge. I also have a smaller putty knife. I got these at Home Depot, but they work very well. You need a kitchen thermometer. An instant read thermometer or a candy thermometer will also work. And the thing that I use most of all is a kitchen scale. It's very important to weigh the ingredients because even small variations can be the difference between a successful batch of fudge and an unsuccessful batch of fudge. The other thing that I have and use in making fudge is a marble table. And the marble actually conducts the heat and pulls the heat away and helps cool the fudge in a quicker fashion. Now I understand that not everybody has a marble table, so you can also use a bowl, probably some padding around here because it will get really hot when you go to stir and make the fudge. Candy making is a sweet blend of art and science. Let's explore the fascinating science that transforms simple ingredients into a creamy, dreamy, delectable treat. You'll learn not only how to make perfect fudge, but also understand why certain steps are crucial for success, including how to adjust for different altitudes. To be successful, it is important to understand the basics of science, which allow the art to shine through. First, let's explore the ingredients and why they're important. Sugar is the defining ingredient of candy making. It provides sweetness, bulk, flavor, mouthfeel, and preservation. Cane sugar, or sucrose, is the sugar that crystallizes, providing the texture. Corn syrup. In the late 19th century, it was discovered that cornstarch could be converted into a sweet syrup. Corn syrup helps prevent sugar from crystallizing. This means it helps the fudge from feeling grainy. It also allows extra working time to work in air and align all of the small sugar crystals. Corn syrup is a form of glucose and is also known as inverted sugar, or a liquid form of sugar. You may be asking, isn't corn syrup bad? No, not regular corn syrup. High fructose corn syrup is processed corn syrup where some of the glucose is converted to fructose using enzymes. It is this process that causes concern. Dairy products are important ingredients. They provide fat, which makes a richer, more satisfying candy. Milk and heavy cream are two sources of fat used in fudge making. Heavy cream should contain at least 36% fat. Butter provides flavor and a delicate melt-in-your-mouth quality. Always use unsalted butter. Flavorings. There are many different ways to flavor your fudge. The recipe today is using chocolate to provide flavoring. When making fudge the old fashioned way, you need to sweat the small stuff. Keys to success are cooking to the proper temperature, causing crystallization at the right time, and forming small sugar crystals that result in a smooth texture rather than a grainy one. The true art of fudge making lies in controlling the crystals and the amount of stirring. Stir too little, and your fudge will have a sugary texture, or it could also be runny. Stir too much, and the fudge hardens and turns crumbly. Fudge, without question, is the quintessential homemade candy. It has been made in home kitchens for well over 100 years. How was fudge originally created? Well, it's not entirely clear, but it is believed to have originated from a batch of caramels gone awry. The ingredients and cooking temperature of the caramel and fudge are almost identical. It's only after cooking, by first cooling and then stirring rapidly, that incorporates air, that changes the crystal structure of the gooey mixture, resulting in the short texture that is creamy fudge. It's this crystallization of sugar that produces the desired result when making fudge. Not all crystallization is good, though. Stay tuned to learn how molecules make all of the difference. I've been making old fashioned fudge for the past 12 years. My journey started when I bought a cookbook from the Culinary Institute of America that included a fudge recipe. When I was in high school, my best friend and I were making Christmas cookies one year, and her mom took us to the store for supplies. I found a box mix for no fail fudge and thought it sounded good, and I asked if we could include it in the purchase, which my friend's mom graciously agreed. I proceeded to follow the instructions and make the hardest, most disgusting fudge ever created. Many years later, when I saw this recipe, I thought I could redeem myself and my failed fudge reputation. Well, I followed the recipe and created another batch of grainy, failed fudge. It was crumbly and awful. Now it was a challenge, and after many adaptations and learning about the science behind candy making, I finally made a successful batch and have been making it ever since. I was so into the process, my husband made me a marble fudge table to use for the cooling and stirring process. You don't need a dedicated fudge table to be successful in fudge making. You can achieve success through controlling sugar crystals and cooling and stirring with a large baking dish and a bowl. What is crystallization and why is it good and bad? When we purchase sugar in the store, it comes in crystal form. Tiny crystals are each made up of 1,000 sugar molecules. When sugar dissolves in water or the waters in dairy products, the crystals dissolve and the individual sucrose molecules mix freely with the water. When there is a high amount of sugar dissolved into a small amount of water, the sugar is likely to reform into crystals and settle to the bottom of the container. The stirring causes the sugars to crystallize, but instead of large crystallization, they are now made up of many small crystals. So now that you've seen the process for old fashioned fudge making, are you ready to give it a try?